"50 years of stories." I'll tell you a story. Hello, proud patriots and soldiers. I know, I have herpes on my mouth today, and I'm sorry. I got it from my dear mother at birth. Yes, lots of stress hormones, known as cortisol, can flow through the blood when ladies give birth. This can compromise the immune system, and a herpes explosion can occur. I promise you, YouTube, there's no Oedipus complex here. This is a family channel, and it was all transferred from her bloodstream at birth. I promise. I'm a good boy. I'm a good, clean boy. But most importantly, today we have boarded the U.S.S Yorktown, also known as the Fighting Lady. She is a floating metallic death machine. She's a very big, violent girl of the seas. The media inappropriately says to us that for women, bigger isn't better. But really, the media is dead wrong regarding carrier weight, mass, and barge size of this seafaring she-beast. Bigger is better. Women, don't be ashamed and fight for your right to party. And also, eat as much as your heart desires. All love on this channel. In fact, I want everyone to eat up this video of this large, historic warship. Why don't you snack on that, dear viewer? Let's go. German Luca. Also take note, today we have mounted her willingly using a gangway. She is an Essex-class aircraft carrier with a career spanning World War II, the Cold War, Vietnam, space recovery, and Hollywood. Unfortunately, Hollywood. But everything else, pretty cool. Oh, let's wave to the spirit of Charleston. No waves. One wave. Yeah. Alright, I got one wave. The Fighting Lady was known by her crew during World War II for very aggressive combat performance. Not passive aggressive, but aggressive. Hello, friend. I like your glasses. I like your sunglasses. Well, now we're inside the ship. This female ship weighs 36,000 tons and reaches 888 feet in length. 2.5 football fields. Wow. She runs away at 33 knots and can reach 14,000 miles. She fits 2,600 men inside of her. That's a lot of attention for one big gal. But don't let her fool you. She's tough and she's resilient. And regarding her resilience as a ship, well, she's been serviced many times. Hey, he's smoking a pipe here. Look at him. Look at that guy. He's smoking a pipe. Hey, look, there's no phone here. Look at that. Absolutely no phone. Can you believe it? What did they do before phones? What did they do?
Our aircraft pilots are constantly on call, for despite the massive power spread out around us, these are still dangerous waters. This all too well, but
I love how the announcers used to talk. They used to talk with an official voice like this to make them sound legitimate and official, instead of talking in a regular voice. Now, the Fighting Lady was known for very, very aggressive combat and winning most battles during World War II. Her aircraft flight deck can fit 100 fighters, dive bombers, torpedo bombers, jets, and helicopters. Her war machinery features 4 steam turbines on 4 long shafts, producing 150,000 shaft horsepower. This gives her the high speed needed to operate with fast carrier task forces that involve pure death and destruction in the name of defense. Keep in mind, this was back in the day when Israel was called Palestine. This girl right here, she's solid. You can even hear it. Well, she was designed for resilience against bombs and shells while remaining lightly protected compared to other battleships of her time. For this boat, speed and aircraft capacity were its main priorities. This is my absolute favorite part of the boat. Are you ready? I'm excited, and I know you are too. It's where the true and real work happens. It's where the boys get their hands dirty. It's like 101 today. I don't know what that is, 34 degrees, but we're going up to the bridge. Oh, they locked out the chief of staff. Navigator's chart room. Look at this. Oh, look at that. They used to have water here too. This is the helm. The helm activated a hydraulic system that moved the rudder. The cherrywood band was sent to the ship from Yorktown, Virginia, during the ship's construction. It's not moving. It's probably a good thing it's not moving. We don't want kids veering off into the ocean while their Karen moms scream. Look at this. Got the barbershop seat, but this is where the navigator is. Looking into this navigator type kaleidoscope or telescope or microscope or something scope. It definitely has the word scope in it. Solid built steel from the 40s and 50s. Post World War II steel. Yep, smells just like it. Also known as the flying bridge, the forward bridge allows the captain to see more of the deck and improve his vision of the ship's surrounding. Oh, now another barber shop chair right there. And notice the upholstering. Very comfortable. Very 50s. I don't even think you would have that these days. Radar deck. Hey, look at that. Fort Sumter. Fort Sumter's out there. We've been there. There it is. There's Fort Sumter. And there is Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina. And then we have the Arthur C. Ravenel Bridge, which we've been on. I can't see jack diddly squat. The guns she yields are dual-purpose guns, 40mm Bofors with twin mounts with dozens of barrels, and also 20mm Aircons. This provided her with heavy anti-aircraft defenses. For you auditory kinesthetics. She also displays a 5-inch anti-aircraft technology, which at the time was considered high-tech. See, that's where the little person's feet would rest. See? And that's where their buttocks, their gluteus maximus would hang out there. And that's where they would keep their feet. And here they would roll the gun like a Tommy gun and go. No, I'm just kidding. That was technology of the 20s. This is 40s technology. This is fully automatic. Now we're making our way to the very tippy tip of the Fighting Lady. The flight deck is angled with an enclosed hurricane bow, upgraded catapults, and arresting gear. And of course, the newest anti-submarine technology of its time. Let's take a walk to the edge of the ship. And let's see about this angled flight deck. Let's see how angled it is. Well, they won't even let us go see the angle because it just has nets for people that might try to maybe hop. Maybe they didn't like being on the boat for, I don't know, 11 months out of the year or longer. Probably didn't like it, so maybe that's why they have the nets. I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe it's the same thing as factories in Asia. They have nets because, you know, people are working 70 hours a week there. Maybe they're doing the same thing on this boat, but all in the name of defense. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. Oh, I love this over here. We got Felix the cat holding a bomb. Felix the cat looks so cute as he's dropping bombs on Asians. He's dropping bombs on the enemy, on the Axis powers during World War II, which happened to be Asians. Not all, though. Italians, Germans, those were among the Axis powers as well, in case you're wondering. The interior guts of a jet fighter. Painted white. Painted white. I think this is a bomber, not a jet fighter. During World War II, these are the areas where she went bananas on the enemy. This was in the Pacific Theater. From Japan all the way to New Guinea, the enemy felt her wrath. 4,000 enemies perished because of this big sassy metal girl. Enough of that effeminate voice, Doosty. Her aircrafts claimed dozens of enemy planes and destroyed and struck Japanese carriers from the South China Sea all the way to southern Japan. Japan, in Japanese, is Nippon. In case you're wondering. This woman knew nothing but naval dominance. Her enemies feared her might. Oh, here we have a bulldog. Some more funny, cute marketing to allow war to just be kind of cartoonish. No big deal. What am I doing you? We're killing you. No big deal, right? It's just a bulldog. Cute little bulldog with wings and boxing gloves. No big deal. Yeah, no big deal for the people below. This woman that we're standing on right now, she survived 12 naval battles, spanning from World War II all the way to the Vietnam War. She survived air attacks, bombs, and a typhoon that sank 3 other destroyer ships. Interestingly enough, she also survived kamikaze air attacks and a direct bomb hit while remaining in the fight and winning the battle. Ooh, this is the area where people get sucked into the engine, to the propeller. See this? You can see footage on YouTube of it actually happening. Today, on this family channel, we're not going to show that. We're just going to show the interior of the engine. Here it is. But when this was a full engine, working engine, I should say, I wouldn't recommend getting near it or close to it because it has the potential to suck you in with its G-force. When these engines are on, these engines can suck. It can suck you right into that engine, so you have to be very, very careful. No bueno. No buenos noches. That makes no sense. People want to learn about the birds and the bees, and they want to learn about birth and life, the existence of life, and also the non-existence that happens after we're given life. Animation versus de-animation. In 1968, this was the primary recovery ship for the first crew mission to leave orbit and circle the moon, known as Apollo 8. Helicopters from this ship rescued those astronauts from our largest ocean, known as the Pacific Ocean. The U.S.S York, the Fighting Lady, she retired here in 1970, and she has been resting here ever since. And here where we're standing today is designated as a historical national landmark, or a national historic landmark, or a historic landmark national. I'll spell it out for you in all three possibilities, just to accommodate you. That's how accommodating I am. The ship that we're walking on in this 120 degree weather is considered one of the most successful warships ever made. This one looks a little bit more malevolent than the other propagandistic stickers that we had on the other planes that were kind of like Disney-esque, or I don't know, Felix the Cat-esque. This one's actually a lot cooler. It's starting to get more realistic, a little more violent, a little more vicious looking. We all know who took out this young fella here, thanks to the internet. I love it how these days politicians and leaders and statesmen, they can't hide from the internet. It catches up to you. There it is. Don't get sucked in. Let me know in the comments below if you know the number of people who got sucked in by an engine like this. I'm just curious. It's kind of the beauty of AI these days, is you can look up anything if you want. Oh, look at this. We have an arresting hook. The arresting hook. This hooks in over here. Here it is. I think there is a protocol there where the pilot will keep flying if they don't hook on the arresting hook for the first time. So it's very important that that hook gets hooked on so they can use the cord to slow down this fighter jet because it's going so fast. I forget what the audio fetish is, where people listen to YouTube videos and just for the auditory stimulation. I forget what it's called, and it's enjoyable for everyone, or at least the auditory kinesthetics. But anyways, either way, for the auditory kinesthetics, that is very solid. In fact, it is not hollow at all. It is compact, probably hundreds of pounds. This, I'm not sure what this is. This must be a place for it to land or take off or something. Maybe it stabilizes the bomb as it gets ejected. I don't know. But anyways, that's what it sounds like. That's the payload. Payload of the 40s and 50s. Vol 111. Vol 111. I have no clue. But there's info on Vol 111, but I'm too lazy to read it. That's right. And that's okay. We're in America. This is the land of pure convenience. Helicopter. This was the helicopter that rescued the astronauts during Apollo 8. Commander Don Jones. See that? Apollo 8 picked him up in the Pacific. The largest ocean in the world. Thank you, Don Jones, for rescuing the astronauts. Wow, there's still dirt on the handle. Still dirt on that handle. I know people want to say this is Lickador. Lickador, call Frank co-pilot. Lickador, but it's actually Lieutenant Commander. It's not Lickador. People get so funny sometimes when it comes to words. Rescued the Apollo 8 astronauts after their orbit. They also believe they orbited the moon. They didn't stop there, but they circled around the moon and came back. Inside interior guts of the Blue Devil fighter jet. Not bad. Not bad at all. Airplane ASMR. Just what the doctor ordered. Wow. Blue Angels. You want us to go this way, sir? Yes, I do. I really do. That would take us to the Arthur C. Ravenel Bridge. We've already been there. And that takes us to the ocean. You want us to go to the ocean? See, we're not flying, sir, so we can't. I'm on foot. I can't get to the ocean. I'm sorry, sir. I can't get to the ocean. It's not possible. Ah, the tip of the Blue Devil. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. Amazing. I don't know why that officer wants me to go that direction. I can't. I'm just by foot. I'd be hitting the ocean. Crazy guy. Crazy guy telling me to go. There he is. Look at him. What are you doing? Telling me to go. Look at this crazy guy. This crazy guy down here telling me to go into the ocean. This crazy guy telling me to go into the ocean and jump over the boat, but I'm just on foot. I need you to go that way. Sir, I need you to go that way. That's the correct way if you want to fly. But I can't fly. But I'm unable to fly. I'm only on foot. I need you to go that way. That's the way. I command you. Take your orders, sir. Fly that way. 12 o'clock in the air. Sir, you need to fly that way. That is the correct direction. But I can't. I can't do that. I'm unable to do that. I can't procure that for you right now, sir. That way. That way and beyond. To infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear likes to say. To infinity and beyond with the Blue Devils. Sorry, commanding officer or a flight deck operator, but or a flight deck navigator, I'm unable to go that way because that way is the ocean. That's the bay. Can't do that. Sorry. I'm tempted to give you a nice kiss. Can't do that though, because otherwise I can transmit this to you. And I know you're not going to want that. You're not going to want that. If I kiss you, it's not a good thing. That's a problem with this, is when you have an outbreak, you can't do things like that. I hope you understand. Yes, sir, I understand. Okay. All right. No kissy for you. No kissy for my friend here. All right. You have a good day, sir. I will. Thank you. God, the people here in Charleston, South Carolina, they're so friendly. They're so polite in the South. I love it. He understood that I had an outbreak, and he understood that this just wouldn't work out. You have a good day now. I will, sir. Thank you. Thank you for guiding me into the ocean by foot. So this place is hungry for business, and I've noticed that they have parties on top of this carrier on the weekends. They'll host big live DJs. They have these very large ecstasy-infused parties here on this ship deck. Not only is it a historic site, it's also a place of party and dance and people experiencing ecstasy through music. Ecstasy as in the emotion of ecstasy, not the other thing. No. People would never do that at a rave. I'm already forgetting where we are or what this boat is called. That must be the heat. Yeah, it's like 100 and I think it's 101, 102 today. God, so much self-doubt today. just doubting everything, every single word. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's okay. It's okay to have days like that where you doubt every single word that comes out of your mouth. But guess what? It's temporary and you get over it. And then one day, you open your mouth again and you can speak clearly without second guessing yourself and thinking about every word that comes out of your chops. It's just normal. It's the human condition. Ooh, look at that. We got a gun down there too. Sneaky cannon. Sneaky cannon just snuck up on us. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look how long the shaft is.
Huh?
Look at this. This is a gray shaft. Unlike when we went to... Where was that? It was some park now. Ah, the Battery. There was big, long, black shafts and big, stout, wide black shafts. Now we have a gray shaft, which is also longer than any of the cannons at the Battery. This has to be 15 feet or 20 feet, at least 15 feet perhaps, long. Very long gray shaft. And, I mean, this is a fully automatic weapon. Took out countless boats in the Southeast China Sea. Probably responsible for sinking many, many ships. Pretty cool. That is pretty cool. What a beast she is. This lady is a metallic goddess of the seas, goddess of destruction. But luckily nowadays, everything is drone operated. Yeah, by someone that will get PTSD later on. Pretty severe PTSD, in fact. Pretty bad for drone operators. So if you're thinking of becoming one, if you want to inherit PTSD, go ahead. Hey, Tom Cruise, get out of the soccer stadium, get in the cockpit, you little Scientologist. Here's a picture of a Japanese warship sinking during World War II. That's a guy jumping overboard. These are people jumping overboard. You can see how it's tilted, like that. So the Fighting Lady was responsible for sinking and collaborating with the sinking of these Imperial Japanese aircraft carriers. All of these, between 1922 to 1944. All of these right here. That is a lot of aircraft carriers. That's a lot of steel sinking into the depths of the Pacific Ocean to get corroded and eaten away by the salt water of the Pacific. It's a lot of carrier ships. So, the Fighting Lady was a bad, big man. That's brutal. Here, we have a vending machine. Absolutely amazing. Good modern technology, just like this boat. Long gone and dead. Very cool. Almost looks like an older Dave Chappelle. Chappelle circa late 2010s. Looks like some T-bone steaks as well. I don't have time for that. I ain't got no time for that. Ain't got no time, ain't got no time, ain't got no time for that. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a little simulation of what it feels like to have this sinking ship. To have the ship tilted as if it's sinking. Very cool. I love this. So, Yorktown abandoned. Abandoned on the afternoon of June 4th. The ship's last varied from 22 to 26 degrees. The platform you are on is an example of what Yorktown's flight deck would have been like with a 22-degree list. There's the Yorktown. It got damaged, but it survived. That's why, and we're on it today. Had they not salvaged it, we wouldn't be able to enjoy the Yorktown that we're on today. There she is. She's tilted. There's the tilt. That's the tilt, boys and girls. A video of the sunken CV-5 off of Midway. Seen through a porthole. Apollo 8. There's Apollo 8 taking off. And thanks to the internet, we know who took you out, don't we? Landing pods that were attached to a parachute. That's the pod. This is a German Luger, captured by the SS officers, or by the Americans. Americans captured that from the Nazis. There you go. A Luger, a German Luger. Pure German engineering. Now, in case you're wondering, in Austria, where I was born, that's the land of the Glock. Now, the Glock supplies all the cops their guns, and that is probably one of the best handguns, and it's made in Austria. This is a German Luger, and Austrians are known for the Glock. So what we have here is actually real Medal of Honors, and not the video game Medal of Honor, which is a great game for PC, by the way. Tomahawks similar to this one were part of military toolkits during the war on terrorism. Look at that. What the hell were they doing with this tomahawk? I can't even imagine where this axe went. Probably straight to a skull. It's a German Luger. Some more capsules from Apollo 8. I guess there's people in there. It's really small, and today it's 100 and something, so it's hot and humid in there. I'm not gonna go in there. Oh, you can see the inside too, people in the side. That's funny. That's funny. I guess that's a little emulation of Space Pod. Very cool. Die amerikanische Flagge. The American flag. All right, we're at the chapel. In nomine Patris, Sancti Filii, Spiritus, Amen. Last rites. Conflicting. It's conflicting for me. You got a church, but then it makes sense for a lot of people. They can go to church and then go and put a bullet in someone's head or torpedo an entire ship. Basketball court. But to me, it's I can keep those things more separated, but yeah, you have everything on this ship. You have a church. Oh, a warship. Wow, look at that. Church on a warship. We have a church. and you have God to make you feel good about the decisions you've made. Something a little sinister about having a church on a warship. But whatever helps you sleep at night, if it is your job to kill people. You can tell I was never fit for the army or the military, so yeah. Now, library, this is more my style. Library would be just great. Newsweek from 1963, 1966, Time Magazine, ooh, National Geographics. Back when Russia was the Soviet Union, this is 1959 during the Cold War era. Good, studious boys studying in the library. Now, I could see a library making sense, but as far as a church is concerned, I don't know, not my thing. The bathrooms. Wash up, shave, brush your teeth, floss. Take care of all your toiletry needs. This is part of the engine room. Oh, no, this is the interior of a torpedo, Mk-44 torpedo. Booyah. Booyah bookusha. Whoa. All right. Torpedo room. This is where the engineers would work on their torpedoes. The water cooler, the coffee machine, where people would gossip and talk about their comrades and their fellow sailors. An area where there's extra nuts and bolts. The machine shop room next to the coffee cooler. So now we're at the lower decks here. This looks like the mess hall where the crew would be eating. A crew of 2,000, 3,000 soldiers and pilots. Sailors, I should say. That classic plaid picnic, red and white. Picnic blanket or tablecloth that is just universal in the United States. And where you pick up your food and where you drop off food and the remains that you don't need. Looks like a pineapple, some bread, and there they are, working really hard to get the sailors fed. Alright, more food scraps. Looks like a little bit of an egg over easy. A little peanut. Pineapple ring, a little bit of a muffin it looks like. And look at that man. He is moving so efficiently and fast. He is efficient. Wow. These guys really know how to work down here. But apparently, hello, how's it going? Look at that. But to be honest with you, this was known. They were known for having great chocolate chip cookies and actually some of the best food on any of the carriers during World War II and post-World War II. Thank you, sir, for your service. Thank you for cleaning and taking care of the napkin trays. But when you think of the time today versus back then, this person is long gone. Maybe 120 years old, 115 years old at this point, or even more. So this is definitely a blast from the past. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? A blast from the past. A herpes blast. A type 1 herpes. Type 1 cold sore blast. Oh, here it is. So imagine the mess hall here. All the conversations that were had. All the therapy and just guys getting food that they needed to sustain themselves to get through war. I mean, that's the library, that's the church, that's the upper deck where they would sunbathe themselves. I mean, good. Think about it. This place has history. Oh, there's the principal's office for the bad boys. No, this is the Master at Arms. They were the ship's police, headed by Chief MAA. There were also special MAAs such as the one who used this office. He was in charge of the crew's mess. Alright, custodial work on the bottom of the ship. Laundry. It's like the laundry area. Oh no, that's the cafeteria. So that's where they got food. That other area is where they're washing all the dishes. Oh, what is this? Golden hat. Oh, they had their own dentists. That's amazing. So here in the U.S., medical health care is absolutely privatized, and it's for pay. So you just don't have that here in the U.S. The wealthiest country in the world, highest GDP, but you don't have free medical health care, which is absolute tragedy. And it's embarrassing. But military, a lot of times these people join the military because they get health care. And so here on this ship, they have a dentist chair and a working dentist who work on their teeth for free, as long as they were able to do what they had to do, which is follow orders, and we know what that means and entails. Dental care keeps him on the job. So yeah, diagram of some teeth. Wow, pretty awesome, pretty amazing. They really realized that you have to maintain dental health, because if you don't, you rot. Your head starts rotting. From the gums to your soft tissue in your face and in your flesh and in your chin and in your jaw. But pretty interesting that they had free dental care. That's unheard of these days, probably. Well, in the military you still have it, but amongst the regular civilian population, good luck. Storage area for food. Area to clean the food and preserve the food. And most likely a refrigerator. Most likely a refrigerator. A place to swish your mouth out. Time to swish your mouth out. Time to swish out your mouth. After your dental service, your free dental service. Brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Get on the chair. Get your mouth worked on. Get your dirty mouth worked on. Dirty, filthy mouth. Wow. Imagine being a dentist on a warship. Yeah, I think as long as you follow... Ooh, and the engine room, a small engine down here. There's probably many engines here, right? Tons of them, and they're huge. This is just one little one, probably just for the dental office. But imagine that. You get free dental care, but you gotta go and take human life. All in the name of defense. There's the teeth molds, especially when people are getting crowns. Amazing. And that was back in the day when they put metal in your mouth. Metal. A lot of people ended up getting poisoning in their blood because of the metal fillings. I'm not sure what kind of poisoning it is, but it's related to having metallic substances in your bloodstream. The butcher shop. Ah, I see fresh chickens. Delicious, nice little chickens. They go cluck, cluck, they go quack, 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 quack. Oh, it's a duck noise. So chickens and some beef and some salmon. Woo, look at that. They had salmon too. Plastic salmon. Wow. I can hear they're busy working. I can hear the plates crinkling and cackling. So I'll take 2 eggs, an orange, a pancake, some sausage, some bacon, a muffin, and some peanut. Oh, hard-boiled eggs. Thank you, sir, for your service. Thank you for the food. Look at that. He dropped eggs. It's all right, man. It's okay. Even though you dropped eggs, you'll be able to clean up. No problem at all. I've dropped eggs before too, and it happens. I'll take some of that. I'll have some of that. I'll have some of that. I'll have some of that. Ooh, have some of that. I'll have some of that. That looks like, I don't even know what this is. Is that mac and cheese? And that is hash browns, perhaps. Sir, I was wondering, what is that over there? This item right there. Could you tell me, please? You know what? He's not saying anything. Not saying anything at all. Oh well. So in life, when you get ignored, it's okay. Sometimes we're meant to get ignored, or you get ignored and you kind of have to shake it off, and you gotta keep on moving, no matter what. Machine shop. Wow, you can hear people working pretty hard in the machine shop. You can hear the machinery going. Yeah, so when a cook or someone's serving you food, if they ignore you, you can't take it personally. That's the important thing. Engine room. This is the engine room. Oh, it's nice and cool. It's nice and cool in the engine room. Oh my. Look at that engineer. With his engineer jeans and engineer shirt. Amazing. I love it. Oh look, we got an engineer working here. Look at this. Look at him go. Wow. Definitely looks like an engineer. Got the engineer pants, engineer collar, engineer shirt.
The boiler tech is lighting the boiler to generate steam.
And he's lighting a boiler for us. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. We've got the engine room. The engine room. Hell's Half Acre. That's what they called it. Look at these steep stairs. Steep stairs. So if you're over a certain age, I don't recommend coming on the U.S.S York because their escalator doesn't work anymore, and to get to the lower decks, it's very, very steep. Very steep. Not 90 degrees, but definitely steep. Whoa. This is the engine room. Damn. Wow. This opens the steam pressure, all the pressure gauges. Oh, amazing. So you know whether this thing is going to have a lot of pressure or a little pressure. There's the gauge, the shut-off valve, water cooler. Imagine being the guy that works all the way on the bottom, and that's your job, 11 or 12 hours a day, to be below there and be working. I mean, we're on the second lower floor. We're not on the first lower floor, which is the very bottom of the ship. I don't even know if they would let us go down there. In fact, look at it's cut off. It's hermetically sealed, or it's sealed, so we can't even go down there. But that is the lower etage of the ship. Crazy. Wow. That's amazing. It smells like grease and oil from the 50s and 60s here. Looks like a turbine. Main control. And there's the gauges. Engine revolutions indicator. Increase, increase, increase. Transmitter. Wow. This is the engine room. So when a ship like this gets torpedoed by the Axis powers, usually the first area for water to flood in is going to be these lower areas here. And pretty much the water pressure is so strong that it fills up so fast, how are you going to get out? You get sucked in and probably trapped. Or do you get spit out of some hole? Or do you make your way to the top quickly? The air pressure is probably so strong that you probably just get crushed and drown quite quickly. I don't know. I don't know. And I'll hopefully never find out. Fuel oil transfer pump. Alright, let's move that to red. Main feed pumps. Alright, let's move that to green. Actually, we need to move everything to red. If you catch my drift, everything needs to go from blue to red. You got that, guys? Everything needs to go from blue to red. Blue, blue, to red, to red. Restore balance in the universe. In the engine room and in life, it's a big analogy. Go from blue to red. Crew off. Topside off. Engines off. And your shifts. Shifted, expanded, and gained. Topside. Let's turn topside off. And we're going to turn the cruise off. I think we're good if we just IMC busy.
It's right here.
There we go. Circuit JX radio and signals. Let's flip the radio switch. Oh, there we go. We get the frequency. No contact. Now see, and there's the speakers in there. So now I can contact people on the radio. The outside world, so they can pick up my frequencies in case there's an emergency. Or they need to be contacted. Alright, up we go. We got broccoli, and we got corn, and we got ham, we've got mushrooms, olives, some bread rolls, potatoes, looks like a halibut or some type of whitefish, pecan pie, all the different pies and cookies. Look at all these guys working. The finest chefs of the 7 seas. The finest chefs of the glazed ham. They're glazing hams on the Fiery Lady. Glazing hams on the Fiery Lady. My goodness, those hams look so good. Ooh! Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! Glazed ham. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry, boys. I'm getting hungry, boys. Boys, boys, boys. I'm getting hungry. Hungry for my mouth. Hungry, hungry fucking food. Hungry for my mouth. Hungry, hungry. Hungry, hungry mouth. Hungry, hungry. Jimmy Doolittle room. Patriots Point. Can I come in here? Institute of History, Science, and Technology. Looks like you need a card. Nope, can't go in there. Ooh, tour 1. What is this? Oh, this is like one of the main engines. Look how huge this is. This is like 40 feet of engine. There's probably 4 of them in here. Yeah, this is the hydraulic engine room. Wow, you can smell grease and oil. Just old grease and oil permeating through the bottom deck of this ship. Wow. Very cool. Oh, okay, this is the first aid area. This is their hospital. And their first aid area, and this is where the doctors and the nurses hang out. See that? There's a doctor in there. And if you look carefully, we have an Asian doctor. Maybe he's from Southern California. There he is. There's the doctor. Oh, there's another room. Office laboratory X-ray. This is where the X-ray technician would hang out, and this is where the X-rays were performed. Wow, this boat has its own X-ray lab. There's a patient there on an IV. I hope he's gonna make it. I hope he's gonna be okay. He looks healthy. Just looking up, straight up at the sky, contemplating life and the decisions he made that got him here. He's staring up in the heavens, staring up into nothingness, hoping to get better and well, and that the doctor will fix him.
Hey there.
Hi. 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 Nothing creepy about doctors. At all. They're here to help. He's smart. He can work on me. But man, does he stare right through you. Nothing creepy about that high-functioning autistic stare from that doctor. This is where the patients, the infirmary, the sick bay, as they call it, this is where they'd hang out. They'd hang out and get better, or they'd get sick and die. This is the optometrist area. This is where someone would sit down, right here, and stare at the numbers and the corresponding letters, and let the optometrist know. And there's the optometrist with his thumbs up. You're good to go and you can see, is what he's saying. Eyes are healthy and you can see. Thumbs up. Who's this handsome Fela Kuti? Fela. Handsome Fela. Anyhow. Cold Star's looking better. Sick call. 8 o'clock to 1400 hours. 13:14. That's 2 p.m. Emergencies seen anytime. From 8 to 2 is sick call. So after 2 o'clock, you have to wait till 8 o'clock in the morning to see the doctor. Oh shit. Look at this guy. What the hell? Is that Javier Bardem? Yikes. I don't know what that is. It's very strange. Very strange. Different Navy nautical flags. I have no idea what any of these mean except for that looks like the Danish flag. No clue. Rescue breathing. Put your fingers in their mouth and have them vomit. Or maybe someone's putting putty or pasta into their mouth because they're hungry. I don't know, but this is... Here's an example of a non-homosexual way of mouth-to-mouth, basically. This is just one man trying to save the other, and he's not It's not attracted to him. It's not a same-sex relationship, and he's not making out because, yeah, this is a non-homosexual relationship, and it's consensual because he's trying to save his life. That's what's happening here. Very important. Freeing the breathing ways passage, checking for breathing, poking your thumb in the face, extending the neck so airflow continues, feeding them putty or dough or inducing vomit, and always important to remember, this is a heterosexual relationship and it's a non-homosexual relationship, and he's trying to save his life. So for you kids that are wondering about that, and then we got Stoogie Briggs smoking a cigar. Cover photo of the Yorktown during the Okinawa campaign. Back when we bombed the living out of Japan. Pretty much annihilate them, but we didn't annihilate them enough. In fact, we could only go so far with our sea power, and we were limited, so then we had to drop, well, the atomic bomb. I believe it was 2 areas, maybe 3 areas, was it? Probably 2 areas. And had we not, I don't know if the Navy would have been able to succeed in winning the war in World War II against the Axis. Oh, sorry, pardon me. So, yeah, we kind of had to drop some nukes. Got models of airplanes. And we're here. These are all the models and replicas of the different boats and airplanes. And that's the U.S.S Yorktown with its full weaponry. What we saw today was it's stripped down, a lot more stripped down. But never mind, this is a Japanese fleet. That is an Axis. This is the Yamato. The Yamato. This is a Japanese fleet. Wow. I'm not going to be able to go through every single model and tell you what they're called, but put it this way, there's a lot of different ships. But unfortunately, our naval fleet wasn't strong enough, so we had to drop some atom bombs. And that's kind of how the story goes. Even though we had superior Navy power, it wasn't enough, so we had to use nukes. And that's how it goes. Keep your linens clean and fresh so you can defend the country. Defend freedom. Heard that one my whole life. Because other countries don't have freedom, right? Ooh, weapon room. All the rifles and bullet casings and full bullets. Full metal jackets and helmets. Wow. Not sure what kind of rifles these are, but these look like automatic rifles. And this is the armory. This... Wow. Crew birthing. Moms did not birth these sailors. They were birthed here in the crew birthing room. So they were actually born of machinery, born of the Fighting Lady, born of the U.S.S Yorktown. Ironing board, a huge industrial ironing board from the 50s. Pressed shirts for all the commanding officers. More models. I'm getting sick of models. What is this? Why have models on a ship? Just, ooh! There's the guns. Automatic machine gun from the 50s. Post-World War II. Naval officer staring stoically. Marine Corps detachment. Oh, okay, this is the Marine Corps segment. So this boat also had Marines stationed in it. They kept a handful of Marines here as well. It's not just Navy and fighter pilots. Women in the Navy. I guess there was women on this board too, but probably not a lot, but there were some. Computers and electronic data processing equipment. Yeah. Look at that. Morse code. They would send out telegraphs from here. This is where people who understood Morse and the systems of computers, they would send out information and telegrams to communicate to other ships. So it looks like there were some women that served also, but I'm not sure how many women served on this boat. But there were a handful. Not sure who that is. Friendly, nevertheless. I guess this section of the boat is a tribute to the minorities who fought in all the wars, and including this boat. So you have African Americans and women who were also represented, even back then, in the U.S. Armed Forces.
Responded with bursting shells from anti-aircraft guns as they knocked down the attacking plane.
And into the ocean. Into the ocean. Shot down kamikaze fighter. Look at that stare. Wow. Probably has seen a lot of things. But you have to maintain your focus if you're going to be able to bring in the boys and bring them home safely. 1950s upholstering. Nice and comfortable. Hey, look at this. In an ashtray. An ashtray. A place you can ash your cigarettes. Wow, what luxury. Notice how official their voices sound. Hey, it's an official where I'm talking on the radio. In the 50s, they have that sound in their voice. They want to sound official and professional. Oh. My lord. This boat goes on forever and ever and ever. Admiral Joseph J. Jocko Clark, first commanding officer of the Yorktown. U.S.S Nimitz, stationed in San Diego. Fleet Admiral Chester W. Nimitz. San Diego Bay and San Diego Harbor. That is the center of command for the Pacific. For the Navy. That's where the Navy is stationed, and that's where, at least for the West Coast. I like the way his hand is painted. I like the brush strokes. Nice. Some nice organic, longer brush strokes. They're taking a little bit of liberty on his hand, which I like. James H. Flatley, Jr., Vice Admiral of U.S. Navy. Yorktown's first air group commander. Looks like a cantaloupe. Some donuts. Pecan pie. Maybe there's an apple pie. That looks like pecan pie. And look how enthusiastic this guy looks to be in the kitchen around hot ovens. Wow. And we got some steaks. They're all different flavors of steaks too. We got medium, rare, well done, raw. Wow. Typical two-man officer stateroom. Oh, this is where the officers slept. Got their books. Yeah, I can hear the snoring. I can hear somebody snoring. Do you hear him snoring?
Nani?
Pussers. West Indies. Pussers. Pussers. Aftershave lotion. Pussers on the Fiery Lady. Wow. Some Lucky Strikes. Parker Quink ink. Coca-Cola bottle. Softball? Why not a baseball? Maybe they played softball in the Navy. Hangers. Some sketches. $20-ounce beer stowage. Camel cigarettes in an ashtray. Socks and linens. And bed sheets and bedspreads. Water. Hot, cold, and I don't know what D is. Soap dispenser. Toiletry kit. Old Spice. And a handsome man. Scenes of a beach. Alpine skiing scene too. Maybe perhaps it's from Italy. Or maybe even northern Japan. Hey, ooh, waking him up. We gotta be quiet, we're waking him up. University of Kentucky. Shout out Danny Spain. This guy sleeping here. Maybe he went to the University of Kentucky. Or maybe he was gonna go to University of Kentucky with his GI Bill. Alright, we don't want to wake him up. I'm trying to open this up here. Won't open up. Air conditioner. Let's have it on high. Well, that turns on and off. Like, stay on. There it goes. Okay, that's where they were sleeping. Let's keep going. Down to third deck. More rooms. Where the engine operator must have slept. Looks like a rat with a catapult. Huge, massive engine room again. Whoa. This has got to be 40 feet or longer. This is another huge pipe for air pressure of some sort. Warrant Officers Mess Hall. This is an officers' mess hall, so this is where the officers get to eat and to be served. A jukebox and a piano. Nice place to sit. Printers. Print station, where they would print all their documents after typing them up, especially the classified and important documents, to keep records. This is the brig jail. 3 people. 3 people to 1 room. This is for people that did some bad things. In fact, it sounds like there is a spirit here in this jail that's been passing gas. A gassy spirit. Tell you what, you didn't want to do something bad while deployed overseas. I feel like they come down on you pretty hard. There's a big missile. That's the jail. Soldier standing fully erect. Oh, that's a court-martial. So these are the police of the Navy. Sergeant Captain of the Guard, Marine Detachment. These are just the Marines of the boat. I don't know if they were the police that actually policed the Navy officers, but these guys had to be extra tough if they were. Marine Detachment Guard Office. Marines of the detachment provided security for the ship. Yeah, various guard posts around the ship were manned by armed Marines. The staffing operation of these posts was the responsibility of the sergeant and corporal of the guard who operated from this office. Yeah, so these are the cops of the ship. Because there were so many officers deployed and soldiers, Marines, and then of course you had the Navy boys.
Gay.
Got a little crazy. Stuff got a little bit wild
Gay.
down here and in the boat. So you had to have cops, and these were the guys. You had to have cops to actually make sure that order was kept. I would not want these guys' jobs because, man, military people. I mean, you have to police the policers. You have to police army people. So it's like cop times 10. All right, so this is more like it. Be a barber down here. That's, I think, a little bit lower stress than being a cop. But right next to the cop station, the Marine cop, Navy cop, Marine station, you have a barber station right next to each other. Very, very interesting. I don't know if they did that as a museum or if this was actually their stations. All right, you got your ramen, you got your cleaning supplies, you got your toiletries, and of course you gotta have your toothpaste and your reading materials. And you can't forget a typewriter and a stick of cigarettes. Marlboros, Dorals, Benson and Hedges, I don't know. Soda fountain ship store. Nope, it's locked. U.S.S Yorktown Fighting Lady Ship Store and Soda Fountain Hours, Monday through Friday, 11 to 13 hours. Then it's till 2, and then 6 o'clock to 9. 6 to 9, yep, 6 to 9. Saturday through Sunday, 9 to 1, and 6 to 9. Oh, this is the soda fountain where you can get your sundaes, your boigas, your hot dogs for Barbara. Your hot dog for Barbara. Get yourself a hot dog for Barbara's throat. Get yourself a hot dog. Get yourself a nice hot dog. Get yourself a sundae, some ice cream at the soda fountain. At the soda fountain. Get yourself some popcorn at the soda fountain. Yeah, at the soda fountain. It's the 50 style soda fountain. Look at that. Have a Coke from Atlanta. Coca-Cola from Atlanta. Have yourself a Coca-Cola. Yeah, old-fashioned little Coke cups. Look at these paper Coke. Look at these paper Coke cups from the 50s and 60s. Good job, boys. You guys are doing great. Up, bring it. Oh man, this boat goes on and on forever. We're ready to be done, yeah? Let's get out of this boat. Let's get out. Oh, we made it to the upper deck. Oh. Just for a little moment, I got to be a fighter pilot. We got integrity, commitment, sacrifice. Whoa. Well, it looks more like he's sacrificing something. Patriotism, courage, and citizenship. I guess you can earn your citizenship if you fight for the U.S. military. No, you have to be a citizen to join the military. I don't know. Maybe there's new rules now. There's some new Trumpian rules where you can be an illegal and fight in the military. I don't know. But it would make sense in the system that we have. I mean, you give someone $4.50 an hour to pick strawberries. Why not let them fight for you too as an illegal? It's just a machine, right? RPGing some items and individuals and animals perhaps that are and kids and fathers and mothers that are getting sacrificed by the RPG. All in the name of defense. I hope you got a satisfying amount of U.S. naval history today, because I know I did. Either way, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. And remember, you are loved, and you're never alone out in this great big ocean we call life. See you soon. Ciao, Bella. Staring up into nothingness, hoping to get better and well, and that the doctor will fix him.